Hey guys, it's 9 o'clock here on Tuesday night. Let's just make sure the stream is going on okay. Reload this. I am live by the looks of it. My character not working by the looks of it. Hello, there we go. Hello, there we go. Must not have been close enough to the mic there. Hello. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. There we go. I will turn this down here. Just make sure I have this go live thing connection, so I can see my connection status and stuff. Alright, and this is that. Alright, so we left off, we were trying to figure out why when we hit the play button and we go to the showcase and we hit start, we're going to fix the floating too. It'll automatically get fixed when we switch the island out for the better map. But we're focusing on shooting right now. So, we want to know why when we shot we got to reload. Well, now I can aim. I can shoot. So I found out doing those print strings going all the way along that just simply the animation was not right. It just didn't make any sense. So as you can see here for the pistol specifically, I put in the shoot animation. Now I did open up the original survival RPG and double check the code here to see, because I don't want to change their stuff because I'm pretty sure it was all set up already. And even in the original, this isn't reload, these are all shooting. So somehow these all got changed to reload. I don't know when or why that would have happened. The only thing I could think of is when I added the overlay state instead of the stance, something weird happened. Which is fine. You know what I mean? I might have to look and do the reload later to see how that's looking. But these should all just be shoot aim animation. But when looking at the shoot aim animation, I also realized another problem, which if we go over, let's do the rifle here because the pistol's gone, so we can delete the pistol now, bring this up in line so it looks nice. We want this rifle now, so we could do interactions, combat. Well, these are functions. We don't want functions. This is a variable. So state, interaction, no. State must be interaction, I think. Rotations, there's settings, anims, combat, range, settings, and combat, and this is where we're getting them here. So we have this rifle, so we're gonna want the rifle. We're gonna get this animation here, and that's the animation you see there. And we're gonna take out the reload because that should never have been there in the first place. Nicely set that up. But you notice here it says shooting. Right. So I went and I made sure that I got upper body as and remember what a slot is. A slot is the controlling of certain bones when you're blending animations. So the way the advanced locomotion system does it is it almost does it multiple different layers. It's pretty complex, and they pretty much have one for each bone almost separated. And let's go to advanced locomotion, character, assets. Uh, and so, like I said, when you're looking at the layer system, they have a base layer, they have the overlay layer, they have pose layers, and then they're fusing all this stuff together. But I wanted to get in this upper body here. So, and this upper body is just a simple default. It does the entire upper body. And that's kind of what I wanted, because when I was breaking it down, like saying, hey, I want to use the left arm, the right arm, and maybe the upper spine, things weren't looking right. They're all messed up. And so I know I need to spend more time looking into the advanced locomotion and seeing why it looks all messed up, but the whole point is I could go back to that later on and get that fixed up. I just wanted to make sure I could get things working. So I added just the upper body. But see, that's the upper body slot. That's not the shooting slot. So now this rifle shot shooting won't work. Now I could just do what I did here and change it to upper body, and it will work. The one other problem that I've noticed now is because this is so far down the line, after the foot IK and all that stuff, it actually doesn't do things unless I'm moving. So if I go in here, I really gotta find where those print strings are and get rid of them. And I run all the way over here and I get the pistol. Pistol. And I aim and I click. It just kind of wigs out. It doesn't actually shoot. But once I move and shoot, it actually shoots. That's because this is here. I think base layer, overlay layer, and pose input. And it uses each system individually. This is where I was doing different things to try to set up the upper body. Don't think any of this stuff worked. I could probably just delete it so I don't get confused with stuff. Yeah. I'll get rid of this just so it's not confusing later. Just tons of different options I had tried out earlier to try to make it work. And base layer, overlay layer, blend animate with codes, both layers, override. So if we go back over here, we just try to plug that into there. We copy this guy here, and we add a pin here, just out of curiosity. Might complain because we don't have this post layering yet. Yeah, it just crashed. That's fine. We haven't done anything really yet. We'll just restart that. Yeah, because we did all that is creating the post layering to then say that it's coming from the post layering. We might try to do the overlay state. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can use the upper body animation at a standing. Now, I did get it sort of working for punching. And I think I was playing around with the blends, how it blends in and blends out. And you notice when I do hit the fire button, the arm does slightly move, like it's attempting to do something. And maybe the animation's just not long enough to actually start the shooting of the bullet. But the shooting of the bullet on the animation pistol shot is actually only like 5 frames in, so it's pretty hard to believe that it's not getting to that animation here. Alright, so we'll try just this. We'll copy this. We'll just see what happens if we just break this down in here. We'll go back to this layer here. I don't think we saved it, so no, we're going to have to kill all this stuff again. We will... What? We will, when it blinds the things here, we will try to add this pin here, paste this here. We maybe just try to get a duplicate of the overlay layer, because we want this to overlay on top of the base layer. We don't want this to be we want the base layer to be the main for walking and stuff like that. And just like the way they do it, they have the base layer, then they have the all the advanced locomotion does all its shooting and everything like that. The hands tied behind its back and carrying boxes and stuff. It does all that after. But yeah, looking at tons of stuff going on for the gaming news. The Witcher will now be partnering in a bit with Epic Games and the Unreal Engine 5, which will be cool. And they said they're going to be helping develop massive open world games with the Unreal Engine, which is pretty good. NVIDIA coming out with a bunch of stuff, and then they'll be working with Unreal Engine 5 too. So can't wait till Unreal Engine 5 comes out. We get access to all this stuff. One of the big things with NVIDIA, they have a voice to actor thing, where as long as your character have blend spaces, like I was showing Edith Fiber's characters and these characters here, they have blend faces on their models. As long as they have blend faces, you can get an audio file, like a voice file, and it will actually move the face to look like it's talking to the audio, like with the audio file. It uses some sort of AI and stuff that they have set up, which is pretty cool. Again, I noticed this usually only takes a while when I'm streaming, but could be that it's because it's a big file or something, or because I just crashed it not too long ago. Make sure everything's up and running fine here. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Alright, well, we'll close this little extra tab here. And it's saved. So, let's see what happens now. We still want to be able to shoot, but hopefully we can shoot standing still, see what happens. One of the things I'm going to test is we already know we already have punching and weapons and melee weapons. So I could hear the punching, but the punching is not actually happening. So again, it's one of those many problems where upper body. Oh, that shot. Interesting. 2. So when I click, nothing's happening. But if I move it, I can still shoot, but no animation's happening. The animations are being like overwritten here, or not being blended at all. So this is taking the base layer, the overlay layer, the slots, and they're adding them and putting it into legs. What if I just copy the same kind of concept as theirs? Break pin, and we'll remove pin. Layer slots are a great place to place upper body animations. Reload equipped by using the single montage. You can apply animations in different ways on different body parts using different slots. For example, you could play reload animation on the arms, and the additive version will reload the body so that it could be used in any stance. Just remember to include the curves slot so you can control how the curves get blended in. Doesn't make much sense to me yet. Just click on this, drag this guy down. Ooh. There we go. I wouldn't have additives, but I will copy these two. No, I just want these two. Control duplicate. Bring them here. Overlay. Connect to here. Why doesn't they ever make it nice and neat? These guys. We're gonna want one of these things here, and it looks like the just use one. It's good to use one for now. Oh, that's just for additive things. So we don't want to use that. We want this guy here. Alpha curve name. Ooh, so much stuff. So let's just see what kind of blends we have. Layered bone blend per bone. Is that what I did in here? Yeah, let's try that one instead. And I copied that from here. So I think I did that right. And we want to duplicate something like this here. We'll call this pose upper body. Yeah, we want to be able to shoot while standing still. And I think this will affect the punching and everything like that too, the melee and all that. So we could just use upper body until... I do want to switch over to get nice, smooth blending and animations with the advanced locomotion, but I do still gotta find a good video on how that works. So. There's a lot of stuff I'm still learning. Should not have saved yet. I should have, because it's just getting the pose. Then we have to add the cached pose to the actual chain of events here. So I'll still have to do edits and then resave again. These saves are taking quite a bit of time while the stream is up. Like I said, I was just testing a ton of different stuff before going on here, and every time I saved, it didn't take that long at all. So I know it could be something to do with the GPU. I think I tried to set my stream to use some GPU because I thought it was going to be faster. But alright, so there it's saved. So this is where it does the arm thing. So it does layer per bone right here. Use cache. Posed upper body. Try that. So what it does is it takes this pose here. It throws in this pose here. And then we put this as the new base. We'll just do one. We won't have these fancy variables that change all the time right now. And hopefully you test this out. Hopefully this will work. If not, I'm not too sure. when I have to set it up to use. I think I already preset it up a bit to use montages, instead of just animation files. And then with the montages, I could try to do the layering system. Like at first everything just seems simple, so I'm not too sure why it doesn't work. Like you have layers, and you could set how much it affects that layer by the blend weight in the layer. So if you say 1, it'll fully affect that layer. And so for the right arm, you set right arm to 1 and 1, it's going to fully affect the right arm. But sometimes you don't want it to affect. One of the things that, like an example was like, use curves, because so the arm moves less or more depending on the time of the animation. And so one point is the mantling. So the arm's moving as it's going up to grab the object, and then all of a sudden the arms are stationary, and so then the layering goes 0. But then once the player's feet get up to the position, then the arms are going to move again, so then the layer goes up. But I must be thinking or seeing or doing something wrong. Alright, so start. So because the right arm is the base layer, is only using the right arm. Which is interesting. So I wonder if it will shoot. Oh, it still shot while moving, but did not. That's because I was aiming too high. Let's see if I okay, right on the target there. Yeah, so it still shoots the target. So it still does it while I'm moving, but punching and everything is only using the right arm because it sets the right arm as the base. Well, I can see that I've already tried to do something up there. Literally using the same thing, cached upper body pose. So I think I've already tried this, but I was thinking, oh, well, what if I put it up here so that it should use more than just the right arm. It should use everything off the head, or maybe even put it off the spine. It looks like I might have already tried that. Let's connect this back here, disabling that. Input pose. I wonder if I could just add another input pose here. It seems like it's just doing this anyway. I wouldn't be able to use this. The joys of programming. Should be interesting though. We'll get this working. I think this is kind of like one of the last big hurdles. Like once I get shooting looking nice, it's pretty much just building everything. From there. I'm not too sure what else would cause a major hiccup or hurdle in the long run. It could be adding the different game modes and setting them up. But I hope not. Pretty much my idea is just to have, like, if you're going single player, multiplayer, just single player will get you into, they'll both just put you into a lobby pretty much. And then in that lobby you can pick what game mode you're to do. Alright, play to Baby Jesus. No, it's just using the head there. You can see the head doing some weird jerky motion. It's only using, when it uses that base, it's only using the specific bone that it's given as a base. So if I give it the spine, and I throw this in the back of the spine, and I throw that there. It's coming from the spine. Is it just going to twist the back? Just her back going to twist? And then she's not going to actually use the arm still? We only use all. And the farther back, or farther, I say back, but farther I move this code, as you see, to the right, the more you have to be moving for actually the code to execute. Wonder if there's any way to actually add upper body slot to the overlay state. But I'm still thinking, because even still, it's still shooting once moving. I still feel like the layers blending is already too late to be adding the animation. Yeah, it's just doing the back twist. So we'll link this up to here. This is now separated. We'll compile that. And that's why that was there, because I was trying that, but that's not going to work. Remove that. Remove this. Save this stuff because it was a good idea. Anim graph. Important. The layout of every anim graph should be ideally determined by the specific. Yeah, we know. Every project is different. Post layering. Layer blending. This takes care of the whole body itself. On death, I want the whole again the ragdoll state or death pose or. That's pretty much the same thing. I was supposed to have a sleeping state in here. Maybe I had changed it before. But yeah, pretty much if you're sleeping or you're doing some full body action, but you don't, and you want to just use like one montage for that full body action, maybe the character's sitting down and playing the guitar, you don't want it to be using the advanced locomotion stuff, all these IKs and everything like that. So depending on the movement state, we will be using the different states completely. Overlay state weapon ranged weapon. It's been a while since I tried this. So each punch uses and these are the curves here. Continue attack. This is the montage base layer. At the very top. At the top of this, we just have notify. Don't really state where upper body is being used. Because we create the montage dynamically. So we go try to attack. We play animation, which takes the common fist animation, causes slot, and sets this struck. It's a structure that we made that's or that he made, that is a has all these variables. It has a regular animation, it has a slot name, and it has all these things put into it, and then that gets passed into here, which then goes to this, so it executes on all that. The different way of doing that is just so that it's actually doing it on the server and stuff like that. Now this animation montage is something I made. I'll put that like that for now. We're not using that. I want to just use an animation montage instead of creating one dynamically from the slot name. See, it's creating dynamic montage with all these using all this stuff that we have set up. If I go back to try attack and I click on common, and I had to give this a slot name, that's where the problem's coming in. So if I look at montages and I look, if I look for the default group and I look at slot names, we have spine, head, pelvic, legs, base layer. Well, that's for like the feet, stuff like that. And that would do the whole body again, which we just, as the legs are still, we don't want the character standing still when they punch. And these ones here, upper body, blocking, shooting, state slot, and default slot, those ones are made from the old easy survival RPG. So we want these slots because these are the ones they're using. Click spine, close, open it again. We can see how that works. But it had to be this guy here. So it just called spine. Oops. It is just called spine. So let's go to character here and we'll just change this to spine. At least it's saving the character faster. Well, I might jinxed it. I'm gonna knock on wood or something. Yeah, I probably jinxed it. I thought it was done. It's always like 100% just exporting. Like it's frozen on. I don't know. I think we took out all the other Yeah, there's no upper body anything anywhere now. So upper body should still be interfering. It's all disconnected here. We want him to punch but still walk. We want to be a nice smooth walking motion while he's throwing his hooks left and right. And I know the hook animation's kind of weird. We get good punching animations. Look, some people still think I should do a Kickstarter, but I want to make sure that I have a really good product up there before I start anything like that. If I did, it would be getting like metahumans of specific people who kickstarted and maybe a name and credits kind of thing for the people who actually sponsored it. And then I could use that money to get better animations for the characters. A little upgrade on stuff. But with a lot of the simplified mocap stuff now, I think I could just even set up a camera in my room and record myself doing punches. And then there's capture programs now that will capture you doing the punch and recreate that as an animation, and you can pipe that animation onto your character. Not just using Unreal, you have to use a bunch of third-party programs and stuff, but that way you get kind of more accurate motion capture kind of animations on a budget, obviously. Actually having all the motion capture equipment is probably way better, of course, but that would cost way too much money. Alright, so we didn't save base character, but that shouldn't have too much effect on it. Let's start here. Well, just doing the shimmy. So when it's throwing the bombs, it's still not using the arms. It's only taking the spine in consideration. So that's why we can't just use spine. And that's why I wanted to use something like upper body, because we want both arms. You want to be able to pull back one arm when we throw up the other arm, and we want to, and then that's where using the curve system and using multiple animations came into play. Yeah, using multiple layers, and that's where I started making montages, so then I could actually add all the curves I needed for each animation, and then add that into a montage, and then add that montage to the play animation, and then just play that montage instead of trying to make it dynamically with just one slot, where that one slot doesn't have all the groups I want. So we want the spine to move, we want the left and right arm to move, and then we want maybe the head. And again, if I use something like base layer, the feet will go stiff. We don't want to use the feet. We actually just want upper body. But upper body is not being used by this animation blueprint. And I have a hard time figuring out where to place it in. Posts. apply mesh space additive. What if we took that there? We threw this in here. Another like Hail Mary attempt. We'll save this too at the same time. We'll just save all. Ooh, we have to switch the animation. Darn it, we have to switch the animation back to using upper body again. Because it's still using the spine, was it? Darn, and that's set in the character, which is another long save. What's the hard part about streaming coding is that not much you can do about when you're saving it. It's always going to take a bit. But yeah, 9:53. So we've been at it for an hour. And, haven't really got it to work. And this is what delays some progress. This is why sometimes you just don't have much project. But again, other times, once you've passed these big hurdles, you feel happy, you feel awesome, and the product looks great, and then you just banging out the next stuff. But if this doesn't work, I would consider what I'll try to show you guys here is we'll go back to my idea of maybe swapping off from using the animation instead of just using the montage. That way we could add the multiple layers. Try to make sure we get the different layers in there, and then maybe you could just put one for spine and one on left arm, one on right arm, and then we can at least get those working. So I gotta go character player. I click on this, and this is still on spine. I need to change this to upper body. Pretty sure I spelled that correctly. Like, I know I spelled it correctly, but it has to be like exact. So I'm pretty sure it's exact, like, because it's like uppercase and lower case, excuse me, uppercase and lowercase sensitive. So yeah, I know this is still just earlier in the streams and stuff like that. Once the game starts going and stuff, I know there'll be a lot more people watching and seeing how things work and things. Oh wow. Not moving. Can throw a punch. I can only throw left punches one, but once I start moving again, I could throw combos. So that makes me think, by putting that there, I'm going to run into the same issue with the pistol again. Where I aim and shoot and nothing happens. But if I shoot and move, I can shoot. So again, the quick fix to that would be, like the fists, would be figuring out what is going on with animation here. So I watch it, kind of swings downward. And if I go to move and shoot, do the arms swing and then, so is it just not going far enough? So if I was to keep that in, what we need to work on is the actual pistol shoot here. Now I had switched some of this out. Blend count -1. Let's see. Click on that try attack fist. No, blend out is still -1. Loop count, play 1. So if I just copy the fist that I'm using here completely, and I go 0.5, 1, 0, I think it is 1, -1, 0.5, 1, 1, -1, 0.5, 1, 1, -1, 0.5, 0, 1, 1, -1. Maybe I'll just expand this out, get a better look at the name. To -1 on the blend out. Maybe I can make that bigger. -5. Does that affect anything? Time in to start. Blend out trigger time -1. In time to start montage at. So that's how I fixed punching. I fiddled with those numbers until I could punch. I cannot combo attack right now while standing still. I don't know if I like that. I might want to sit there, and again, that's why I was trying to think of how to better edit that, because even if I did that shortcut fix for the rifle and I somehow figure out, oh, well, those exact numbers work for the rifle. But is it the same as the move shot? Compared to pretty the same. But that goes into now, if I sit that and I copy this, do this here, this is 0.5, this is 0, 1, 1, -1 for the rifle. But then crossbow assault rifle, that's what we're thinking. Oh, are these supposed to be reload animations? Should aiming is false. Should aim in all. So these are just shoot animations. So these are wrong as well. These should just be states, settings, anims, combat, ranged. We have shoot anims, so this would be like pistol shoot, get pistol shoot. And this is when it's not aiming. And then again, we'd have to set up this so it's the same. That way the character could shoot when it's not aiming. And stuff like that. But what we're considering here is the assault rifle. Now if we do, let's reload. You want the assault rifle should aim. And that's on assault rifle. And we also have it as submachine gun right now. Later on we might get like an Uzi kind of weapon. That's why that's there for future stuff. And we won't be using assault rifle. We'll be using the we'll look at a new animation for the submachine guns. One that better fits it. Because what I'm thinking is just like the punching, the shooting has a continue shooting in the animation. So after the first animation fires, the second animation will not fire. Therefore, an assault rifle would only fire one shot when it should fire multiple shots. This is the rifle. Rifle is not working for some reason. We'll look into that. Alright. Just double check that the pistol still works. Yeah. Alright. Try to go for this assault rifle. That's the other thing we had set up. Can't even aim the assault rifle. Because it has different aiming code somewhere. Huh. Well, we could look into the punching anims. Continue attack. So we could try that. So continue attack. Upper body. Season attack 2. Let's just do the same thing. 0.5. Let's do 0, 1, 1, minus 1. Let's make sure we save it like that. And so, if we save it specifically like that, no, still only does the one punch until I move. Once I'm moving, I can do combos. The second I stop or hesitate at all, it resets it to just the one punch. colliding. We'll run all the way down here for the dummy. Yeah. It's hard to keep a combo going up on a still target. There you go. Dash back and forth, but we wouldn't want to do that. Don't like the way it looks. That's the whole point of this, is to make everything look nice. Do a select. Use that for now, but we can copy this. Control C, try attack. Select. And we want default. So default punch 1. Because this is the same thing, using punch 1. But this is using our montage instead. We will then hook up our punch 1 into here, just like that guy is. We'll go into here, we'll go into here, and instead of coming down and checking, we could still do this. If use animation montage is false, so we'll go back into this, and we'll do true. So use animation montage is true. So we'll go true. And the reason why it was jumping down here is not only did I put both pins down here, I had this blank. I did not have anything hooked up to it, so it was just going down. But now I do have something hooked up to it, so it should be valid. It should be playing the montage. And then we want the montage set up. We want to add some curves. Layering. We want the left arm. Metadata. A new constant. A new variable. A constant. See, there's additives, and then there's like ls, there's hand, there's spine, you can go to window, and then notifiers. Sometimes you could add notifier, and you could copy all of the layers. Left arm, this is the left arm. But we want to add, this is go into the curve for now. Remove selected curve. Let's do the metadata. Layer. arm, left arm, 1 1 1 1, because it's a constant. Layer, right arm, so we want the left arm, the right arm. See if we could get the spine in there. Spine, or layer, sorry. That's only typing it in here, not in here for some reason. There we go. Layer, spine. Oops, that was a curve. Move curves, we want to add metadata. Layer, spine. So I'm just going to use the, what? Convert to metadata. There we go. It's all ones. We want to use the arms, the spine. Head we don't need to move so much, but as long as the arms and the spine move, that's pretty big. Save that. And again, we have trace damage, we have continue an attack. And the continue attack in this case, I'm using montage 2. Actually giving it another montage and setting the animation to null. And the montage 2, we'd want to do the same kind of setup. We want to add the metadata layer, not there, I want it in here. Left arm, add metadata, switch to the L section, right arm, add metadata, L section, we want the spine. So spine, left arm, right arm. We have the base pose. Let's see what happens. And the default layer is the base layer. So if I go back here, we want the default layer to be the base layer, I believe. And we can confirm this by using one of the advanced locomotions. Advanced Locomotion will filter for their montages. Montage. Get back up. Mantle, for instance, uses base layer, and then it has. This is an example here. So this is using the base layer for the montage, and then it has legs, pelvic, head, locking foot, spine. I actually don't see it using the hands at all. There is no layer for the arm because the arm is not moving, but the hand is definitely moving. I think the hand is opening up and going flat. I know the rest of the body, definitely the spine and the rest of the body, is moving heavily. Get up montages. Again, he's using the default base layer. Overlay state 3, getting up. Spine. And this is where he's using one of the arms. The arms are moving. He's enabling foot IK. I don't need to enable or lock feet, I don't think. Layering legs, not moving the legs. Aim offset. So I feel like they don't have a really good example of just doing something with just upper body. So I don't know if we would still use the base layer like they do in both of theirs, because we're not actually using feet. In both of these examples, he's actually using legs. He's using the legs in the mantling, the rolling, as well as the getting up. But I'm not too sure what other slot we would use as the default slot. Maybe the spine. Maybe use the spine and add the layers of the arm. But we will test this and see how this goes here. See, this is the problem I was having before. So when I punch, the legs are straight. That's because we're taking the base layer. Maybe we will swap actually. Slot. We'll do group spine. And because we're using the spine, do we want to layer the spine as well? Maybe remove the spine and just add the arms to it. Maybe we'll remove base curve too. We'll just have the left and right arm. We're using spine because that's where we want it to come from, and we're using the left and right arm. Let's learn this together, boys. Alright, let's see what happens. Left and right arms in, and we're using the spine. So the spine is just moving by itself. Again, it's not. And then when I'm moving, it's doing the combo. Oh, while I'm moving, it's doing the full combo. How was I getting punched in there? Because when I use that slot, it's just getting... Or maybe I could do that. Maybe I add the base layer. But then I add the legs. Those layer legs, right? But actually, remove this, and we'll do metadata. Oh, my thing broke. Darn it. I'm having a graphical glitch again. I hate when that happens. So we'll save it. I'll have to close Unreal and open it again. But yeah, maybe we add the legs to it. We just do the base layer, we're adding the legs because we want the legs to move. Doesn't make any sense though. Maybe we add the layering of the legs, but then set the metadata to 0. We don't want any layer additions to the legs, but we want to add that. We don't want any movement to the legs. Because if you do not add the layering, it assumes to let the animation take over. But if that was the case, we just don't need to add anything. The arm should just work. We shouldn't need to add the layer arms. I really wish I had this figured out for you guys before a code night, though. Once I get this figured out, though, like I said, it'll be much cooler for streams because I'll just be adding stuff and editing stuff, I hope, without having any of these brick wall. Like, I wanted to showcase what I was doing, what I was getting stuck on. Unreal has a lot of documentation on this stuff too, but it's a lot of information, and sometimes you walk away feeling more confused than when you got there. Arm mesh local space. That's what the LS is. And there's add for additive. Mesh space additive. Mesh space additive, local space additive, and then there's just actually that arm. Ugh, so many different layering systems. I wish there was something that like break it down for stupid people like me. Almost feel like just removing these curves completely. Maybe I just do base layer, Jesse combat hands, and just see what happens. Again, I can't remember. See if anything happens. Showcase, start. So we have it using the base layer, or you just want to play our animation. Then base layer is the entire. Base layer is the entire body. Oh. So the base layer is the entire body. The arm actually moves. And the legs move. So first, why is continue attack not working? There is an animation right there. But let's go add curves, metadata. Do legs now. It's like the curve. It's just a constant. Convert that to curve. So go back to here. So for the legs, we don't want it to use any of the legs. So we set it to 0. We don't want the animation to touch the legs at all. So let's see what happens if we do that. The animation's still taking control of the legs. And if we set the curve to 1, Oh, no. That's the position, not the time of when it uses it. We set to 1. Add. Feels like it did absolutely nothing by adding this layer. This legs layer did nothing. That's what it feels like. Click on this again. Don't want to use legs. Save. Curves. Pelvis. Also 0. Maybe that's why, because the pelvis is set to a certain direction. I don't want to use the pelvis at all either. Nope, still not moving. Now let's, if we set this to 1 each. Add key. Put the key at 0 and 1. And if we go to there, so now it's 1 1 and 1 1. That's full use. The float is at full. Let's see if nope, the legs still are still. So it's as if these do nothing. Nothing at all. And if we look at these animations here, they use the base layer. Enable foot IK. Enable foot lock. So the foot lock starts at 0 because they don't want to lock the foot. So let's pause this. So enable foot IK because it's ragdoll. So it wants the feet to be wherever it ragdolled last. But if the person's laying down on its stomach, its feet are going to be placed wherever it's ragdolled, and the IKs are going to be working. And then all of the spine, pelvic, legs, and everything is set to 0. The animation itself, playing get up, has arm movement. And then the first thing that happens is it starts to lock the right leg after it's bent, or to lock the right foot IK after it's bent. Slowly, it's a curve that's bending it over time. Or sorry, enabling foot IK. So foot IKs were disabled. Now it's enabling foot IK for the right foot, and then it's going to enable foot IK for the left foot. At the same time, the spine is slowly from here to here. The spine is going from -1 of the curve. You'd have a negative curve. Oh, some of these are negative curves. Interesting. So the spine's going from -1 to 0. then sticking at 0 from there on in. Foot lock. Once the feet are here, the feet are locked. And that's all it is for getting up. It's stuck there. It's all the rest of the body movement. It's just the animation again. So all the arms are actually part of the animation, which is fine. That's kind of like we have. So if we go back, where did our montage go? So good. IK for feet. 0 to 1. We'll just leave them at 1 the whole time. Because we want to have the feet wherever they were. Foot lock. I don't think we want to enable foot locking at all. And then these guys are all -1 to 0. Let's try that. So curve, edit curve. -1. Make a new key. And we'll add 0. Is that 1.6? No. 1.55? 1.56? Maybe 1.56? That's close enough, I guess. Then legs, and the pelvis, -1, and add we'll add a key here. That is 1.56, I guess, and that will be 0. Then they had add curve in the E section, enable foot IK. And E section again, enable foot IK. Convert that to a curve, and we'll do 0. We'll add another point, and this was 1.56, and we'll do 1. Then same for this one here. Open the curve. Key 0, key 1.56 at 1. So let's click this get up in. I don't think we did anything. Maybe because we looked at stuff. Head, spine. Head and spine. And mask, aim, offset. Maybe I'll click it like that. Head, spine, and mask, aim, offset. Alright, let's try to add those curves. Layer. Head. Add curve layer, spine. And then the last one was mask, aim, offset. And those guys were all -1 to 1, I think. So add key, -1. Add key, 5, 6. Oh, I think they're to 0, so -1 to 0. And then add key, -1. Add key, go to 0. And then key, -1. Add key, 0. We'll leave it at that, sure. Save. Just double check. Oh, it's 0 to 1. -1 to 0. -1 to 0. -1 to 0. -1 to 0. For legs, pelvis, head, and all that stuff. Alright. Legs and pelvis are also -1 to 0. -1 to 0. So it's just this one. It's 0 to 1. 0. 1. We'll save. So now, trying to copy our good advanced locomotion system here. Where we want the arms to move, legs not to move. It doesn't work. The legs are still going static. And that's the problem I had with the montages. And now it's the exact same as this kind of montage. And these layering systems are not quite working the way it's intended to work. I did watch a video on this as well, and it was just like, yeah, when you want something to move, just add that thing and watch, and it just works. And then when I try it on my own, it doesn't do such things. It doesn't work as they show it working. I'll watch some videos this week again and see if I can get the montage to work. But I think in their video they wanted the legs to go still. Because if you're going to throw a punch, it's actually planting the feet to throw the punch. Like, you could throw a punch while moving, but it's getting way weaker But for fun and play style, I think it makes more sense that the person is going to be able to move, because you're going to be able to throw a lot of moving punches and stuff like that. And the continue attack is one of the things that I think I was having a problem with. As you've seen there, it still was not continuing attack, and we still have the actual animation for montage 2 on the base layer set up with these kind of things too, and it's just not starting. There is random times where it does execute all the punches, but that's just because we don't have anime montage 3 set up. And since we do not have a montage for 3, remember, by default, if there is no animation, it will play this. Well, actually play the original animation. If there's no animation montage, it will play the animation. If there is no animation, it will play the animation montage. So it's like it should play something either way. But right now we know with the leg locking that it is playing the montage and not the animation. Because the animation doesn't have, it's not set to a specific slot. And even then, if it was selected to a specific spot by using the dynamic montage that we create, we set it to the upper body, which is not being used right now. So, gotta think. I want a nice, smooth animation. I want smooth and I need it working. Maybe we'll add this base pose just in case. The base pose I got from a video. But again, we noticed that the advanced locomotion get up montages and the mantling montage did not have that base pose like the video had. And again, these are all negative ones, just like I did. Oh, look, I'm sliding across the ground still. Nope, wasn't the base pose either. So that's what I'm trying to fix. Either I have to get it so if I'm using the animations and not the montage, I have to get it so that it plays the feet with the animation. And so I could do the punch and the continue attack just like in the shooting animation. The shooting animation will have the continue attack, which this is a notifier. So this actually is a blueprint execution. So with this, it will execute the next attack, and that will go for firing the assault rifle too. So if you're holding down the trigger all at the assault rifle, it will continue the attack as long as the animation gets to this point. And this is here. And that goes for the assault rifle as well. But right now, when we're standing still, even though it gets to this point, it does not execute the continue attack. But when we're moving, it does. And I don't know if that has something to do with the anim not playing all the way through. Because we are seeing this. The animation get to this point. But how long does the fist come back nicely like that, or does it just kind of like teleport back? Let's see here. Oh, I'll have to disconnect the anime not montage, so there's nothing there. So now it should play the animation because there's no anim montage available. So when I'm moving, it does the full and the back nicely. The arm does go back. It goes back, the pause, and it goes into the fighting position afterwards. But if I just stand still, it does not go into the fighting position. The arm just kind of goes back. And this, it holds it for a bit longer. So maybe it's actually, once it fires the punch, blend out trigger time, -1. Blend out 1. Wait a second. Didn't I take out all the upper body animation? How is it doing the... Oh, I put it back in here. I guess it doesn't matter where it is, whether it's after the IK or here. So upper body is still in there. Alright. Thought I had taken that out, but I guess not. I don't think that would have affected any of our animation. Oh, excuse me, great montages though. So I think if I fiddle with these a little bit more. Just blend out time. This, jiggle the legs a little bit. So that 0.5 did nothing. And I think I played with this number 2 and I didn't really get much. I think I sat there fiddling with this for a while. seconds. It is throwing the right punch, which is the second animation. It is going into... It is going to the second animation. It is doing the continue attack, but it's not playing the first animation. For some reason, 1.5. Remember, the animation actual time is 1.56. That could be like 1.557 or like... Try to get down to the accurate number. .25. Wow, I actually got, while moving, I got like, full-on swings. But while staying still, I can actually get some swings in now. But it is just fiddling with these numbers. Maybe that is what I do. And I can do that with the rifles and stuff too. So why is... What am I setting number 2 as? Or, I'm not getting to 3 yet. What am I setting number 2 as? 0.5. What if... What if we set this to like -2? What happens? Still does that like little weak punch. It doesn't go all the way through. Doesn't feel like it changes much. What do we do? -20. Go balls deep. See if there's any major change or something. Yeah, I feel like this doesn't do anything. Let's just go the opposite direction. What if we add 20 to it? Go crazy in the opposite direction. Oh. Do something. It's not playing the animation now. Now it's not playing this continued attack. Well, this is essentially the opposite of what we had before. So we had -1 and 1.25. So now we have 1 and 2.25. Let's see if we get back to that weak punch, but having 2 punches. Oh. Do a high jump here. Oh, setting this to 1 or 20. 1.25. Let's just get, we were getting the right punch before. So now it's not punching, but it's just getting the right punch. And that's by increasing this to 2. But if we just do 1, we get the full left punch, no right punch. I believe that's what it was. Yeah, full left punch, no right punch. And we don't want to loop multiple times. So. Here at 2, he doesn't left punch at all, but at 1, he does a full left punch. Oh, wow. When they're fully equal, it does that like little half punch and then into the left punch. Interesting. So what if we just do this? No bleed out time. No bleed out trigger time. Oops. I should not have saved. Well, actually, maybe saving was a good thing. It is 11 o'clock. So I'm going to do this test with you guys here. See how that looks. I'm expecting or hoping that it's going to be that half punch into the second punch. And so we're still getting both punches in while standing still. If that is the case, I think I might just go with this for now and make sure I just kind of fiddle with all the other animations until they're at a good point where they all actually execute their stuff, including the rifles and things. I will also go through the other rifle loads and reloads to make sure they're all working. Stuff. So let's see. Oh wow, really? It's not doing the other punch. 0.5 on this? Or maybe do I want the trigger time? I wonder if we do 1.25 and 1.25, it does the half punch thing. I thought it was because it was setting it to an even point. Because I'm not saving it, and I'm just compiling it, and without saving it, it's not getting it. Nope, compiling is all it takes. Let's just make sure that if I am actually just doing these weak punches, that it's actually, yep, still doing damage. And then you do like the haymaker punches. That might have to do for now. At least I can punch and move. And both that, and then I can do that with the pistols and stuff like that too. I won't use the animation montage. I'll just have to get the third. Well, it's doing 2 combo, but I should make sure that by opening this up, we click on this and we do about the same thing. So this is like 0.5, I think. and 1.25, and then 1.25, and then play rate 1. And then we open this up, do the same thing. 0.5, 1.25, 1.25. And if we look at this here, we click on that. 0.50 minus 1. 1.25, 1.25. So that's actually wasn't affecting anything? That makes me even more confused. Because this was the attack for the combo 3 the entire time. It was not, I didn't have combo 1 clicked on. Combo 1 is still as basic set as it always was. -1 and 0. It was just executing. Oh, wow. All right. Well, I'll look into that. We're getting some progress. We're getting some progress there. So hopefully, when we come back next week, or this Sunday, sorry, I have something in there. Hopefully, some of the shooting and stuff like that. And if I get it all working, it'll be really cool for next stream if I could just, be adding things to the game, like weapons and stuff like that, and not worry about this big ol' hurl. But it's pretty important to get the fluid animations and having everything feel right. You want the game to feel good. So once everything feels good, then you could add all the extra stuff. But that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. And you guys have a good one. Ciao.